Jesus began his public ministry. And the first thing that he did was to change address. Jesus grew up in Nazareth, a very small and obscure town, a very remote town, located on a mountainous region. And from there, he transferred to Galilee, particularly Capernaum. So Capernaum is a fishing village situated just on the river bank of the Sea of Galilee. And beginning his public ministry, he was preaching the message of salvation and repentance. And during his first days of preaching, he eventually called his first disciples. So the first disciples that he called were actually fishermen, because the area just near the Sea of Galilee were actually fishing villages. If you hear the names of the villages or towns, they're named according to fish or something like that. For instance, Bethsaida. Bethsaida actually means the house of fish. So it's actually a fishing village. If you also hear of the town Tarichea or Magdala, it actually means a place of salt fish, because it is where fish were preserved by salting them. To preserve fish during the time means to actually put salt on the fish, because it's actually very hard to transport fresh fish, especially to Rome. That's why during the time of Jesus, in Rome, fresh fish was always a luxury, because it is difficult to transport fresh fish without putting salt or preservatives in them. So my dear brothers and sisters, the place where Jesus transferred residents were actually a fishing village, and he began his ministry on these areas and called his first disciples, who were actually fishermen. Jesus was a rabbi, an itinerant preacher. When you say he's an itinerant preacher, he would go from place to place. He would not stay in one place. So an itinerant preacher literally walks. He walks from one place to the other, to the next. And while walking, he would be teaching his disciples. So when he called the first disciples, it was not a simple invitation to become a disciple of Jesus, but a life-changing decision. Because during that time, when you want to become a disciple to a rabbi, you would literally leave home. You would detach yourself from your family and from your work, because all your days will be spent with your rabbi, with your master. So these disciples who followed Jesus, Simon, who was later called Peter, and his brother Andrew, and the sons of Zebedee, James and John, they actually or literally left their families in order to follow Jesus. So it was a life-changing decision that they had to make. That's why if you want to become a real disciple of Jesus Christ, in our present time, you don't have to literally leave your family and your work, but still you have to make a lot of detachments and a lot of life-changing decisions. But when you want to become a priest, a brother, or a sister, or a nun, you have to literally leave home. That's it. But if you want to become a priest, you have to leave your family and serve other people. And the brothers and sisters, that's why it's not very interesting for young people nowadays to become a sister, to become a priest. When I was still a seminarian, we would always say during our vocation campaign that the world needs priests. We need priests. There is actually a scarcity of priests. In every priest, he is serving 2,500 parishioners. That was during the time when I was still a seminarian. One priest to 2,500 parishioners. But today, unfortunately, I believe there's only one priest to about 6,000 or 8,000 parishioners because there is always a scarcity of priests. When I was in the college department, in the philosophy department, our population in the seminary was over 100. Presently, they could not reach 50. There's really a small number of young men who are interested in the priesthood. So that's the problem. We need laborers in the vineyard of the Lord. When I was in the theology department, the theology department is the last stage. So after college, you go to theology, so that's 5 years. After theology, you can become a priest, you can be ordained. When I was in theology, I happened to have a classmate who was brilliant, one of the top students in our class. And he was a good seminarian, a good friend of mine also. And at the time, he also had a girlfriend. And he was always sharing with me how he found it difficult to make a decision between the girlfriend and his vocation. So I told him, at this point, you have to make a decision because when you are in the theology department, formation is biased in favor of the priesthood, meaning when you are in the theology, it is already presumed that you have made a decision to be a priest, and therefore you have to leave everything and everyone, including girlfriends and crushes. So I told him, you have to make a decision. And then he said, okay, I will be making a decision later. So the time came before we left for vacation, he actually told me, I have really pondered upon this and thought about this, reflected about this, and I have made a decision. And he told me, what's your decision? He said, I want to become a priest and I will break up with my girlfriend. And I told him, okay, that's a good decision. And then he said, but I still have to fulfill a promise that I made to my girlfriend. I told him, what's that? And he said, I promised her that I would be present during her birthday celebration. Okay? So, when the day was about to come, my classmate told me, okay, help me choose a gift for my girlfriend. I will bring a gift to her on her birthday, and that will be the time when I will tell her that I will break up with her because I will become a priest. So I accompanied him. We bought a stuffed toy for her girlfriend, which he planned to break up with during her birthday. And then, during that day, he asked for permission from our formators to go out in order to join the celebration, birthday celebration of her girlfriend. So she went to the seminary, attended the birthday celebration, and I was waiting for him that night to hear what's up, what's the news. But the entire night I was waiting for him, he never returned. He returned the following day, and he would start evading me and not answering my questions. And then the next school year, he never came back. A few months later, I heard news he married his girlfriend. That would happen. But actually, I'm actually very happy for him that he made that difficult yet strong decision it was better that he decided before he got ordained to actually marry a girl in his life, because it would be difficult if he gets ordained first and then marry a girl later, and that would be scandalous. So I'm actually happy for him that he made that decision during the time and stood by that decision. Brothers and sisters, it's not really easy to become a priest, to be separated from your family and serve other people and claim other people to be your family. When you have your own biological family, it's actually difficult. But then that is the calling that God has given to some. Today, as you say, vocation is not limited only to vocation to the priesthood or religious life. All of us are being called in many different ways, and we can answer God in so many different ways. And the challenge for the discipleship continues to ring bell in our ears and in our hearts. We can still be disciples. You can still be disciples of our Lord by detaching ourselves from materialism, by detaching ourselves from people who want nothing else but to keep us away from God, by detaching ourselves from the evil one. In that manner, we can still become loyal and faithful disciples to our Heavenly Master. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.